Up next, allow me to introduce a distinguished and remarkable speaker. Joining us today, we will have Mr. Belal Jassoma. He is here to give us some expert insight. Mr. Belal is the head of business development of the Free Zone arm of DMCC, the most interconnected free zone in the world and a leading trade and enterprise hub. Everyone, please put your hands together in a resounding round of applause for Mr. Belal.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome, and good afternoon, Crypto Expo. It's great to be here. It's great to see a lot of turnout and positive energy from the audience here today. I hope I still look like this picture. Nevertheless, is this working now? Okay, I guess that's better. I guess I was loud enough. So, that works. So, I mean, there have been a lot of cities around the world that have really positioned themselves as being crypto-friendly and have invited a lot of crypto entrepreneurs and enthusiasts to call home and do business. And it's, I mean, I probably must have missed one or two cities here. If it is your city that I missed, then please come talk to me after the talk, and I'll be happy to update my presentation going forward. But it's also interesting to see that there's a lot of correlation as well between the cities that are ranked as crypto-friendly and the countries that rank highly also on the crypto adoption index. And the UAE, as you can see, is number 3. I don't know if you can see the screen from here. Now, Dubai has really emerged in recent years as the to-go-to destination for crypto businesses to be. And some might ask, why Dubai? Now, Dubai has really positioned itself as a global business hub and as a gateway to Middle East, Africa, and South Asia. And it's very logistically well connected, both for the transport of goods and people. And some of the things that really help Dubai deliver that is being very centralized when it comes to its time zone. So connecting east to west and people being able to manage multiple regions from the same space. In addition to that, businesses that set up here in Dubai, they really find themselves at the center of access to a great portion of the world's wealth and opportunity. You're about 4 to 8 hours flight from some of the very interesting emerging market as well as developed markets. In addition to that, Dubai ranks very highly, both regionally and sometimes even on a global level, when it comes to things such as the global competitiveness of the economy and the performance of the economy, and also as its great status as a place to live and work and be present at. Also, it's ranked very highly when it comes to being a destination for business events. I mean, events like this, for example, I counted last year, we've had at least 50 major crypto events, and these are major events and not just small side events or networking events. So it is the perfect platform to market your business if you're in the crypto and Web3 world. It's also a very cosmopolitan city. I mean, if I look around the crowd here, I can't even tell which country, let alone which region we're in, because of the diversity of the people. And of course, it's something that we always take for granted is that the business language here in Dubai is English, so you don't have to learn Arabic to get by and get things done. Now, talking about the crypto ecosystem in the UAE. Now, in 2023, in terms of transactions and trade, 31% of UAE residents have either owned or transacted in crypto. Now, that, in my opinion, is a high number, considering it's almost a third of the population. Another third of the population is approximately blue-collar workers. So that leaves another third that really haven't really touched crypto, and that's the job of people like us and the speakers here today to try and get the word to them. But aside from that, in terms of businesses, there are more than 1,800 companies now in the Web3 space operating in the UAE, and that number has really grown exponentially in the last 2 years in particular. And in terms of investments, the funding and investment landscape in the UAE has also matured a lot, especially following the crypto winter, where we've seen lots of the kind of projects that are hype-fueled and lacking fundamental bases have kind of been filtered out. And we've seen now investors being very interested in more projects that have a sustainable future and long-term profit, and also based on use cases. I mean, a lot of the speakers today have been talking about asset-based tokens and tokenization of real-world assets, utility and use cases. that attract investors and the market, and not just exchanging hands of crypto like we mentioned. But in terms of the size, I mean, we're looking at approximately $3.5 billion as a total size of funds that are operating, Web3 funds in particular, that are operating in the UAE. And this is some of the names that are notable to mention. Now, there are a number of opportunities that have attracted Web3 businesses to be in the UAE. And the main one that I would highlight is the sheer amount of government support that has been implemented and focused on Web3 in general. I mean, it's been part of the national agenda, but not just the Web3, but also when we look at things like our sectors like the AI and gaming, they have been as a major focus of regional governments, and especially the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. And we see a lot of conversion, of course, between Web3, Web3, AI, and gaming, and that gives an opportunity as well to Web3 companies here locally. The other thing is, with the introduction of regulations in the past 1 year in particular, we've seen more institutional investors, like the other speakers have mentioned before, pay more attention and allocate part of their funds to investing in Web3 projects. And last but not the least, we have seen really good use cases also in implementation of Web3, especially when it comes to crypto payments. A lot of the retailers have started accepting crypto payments here locally, and some of the giant retail groups have also introduced this across all the shopping malls that they operate. And at the DMCC, which I'll mention later, we're also seeing some very exciting use cases. But there are, of course, challenges, and some of the challenges have been the availability of banking facilities. And not just banking facilities, I mean, even something as simple as having a bank account for a crypto business here has not been granted very easily in the past. And that's mostly for two reasons. One, the risk appetite of banks over here hasn't been as high. And second, the absence of regulations at the time. But that is now improving with the introduction of regulations, and banks have started to open up and allow or provide facilities to crypto businesses. Acquiring talent or retaining talent hasn't been as easy, of course, and considering the cost of living here might be relatively high, this may have come across as a challenge. And there's a need of awareness and education, like the speakers also today talked about. So the existence of our DMCC Crypto Center is mostly around helping our member companies overcome those challenges and make the most out of the opportunities that I talked about. Now, before I talk about the Crypto Center, for those who are not familiar, just to put things into context, what is DMCC? DMCC is a Dubai government entity. We were established back in 2002 by royal decree as the authority for trade, and our mandate is to grow and develop trade in Dubai. We were given a piece of land that is 2 million square meters or 200 hectares as our base to develop and build. And today it's home to 87 towers between commercial, residential, and hotel. And we're home to more than 23,000 companies from all sectors and all nationalities. And that makes us the largest free zone in the UAE in terms of number of companies. Now, speaking of that diversity, that is actually the main reason that, gotta go back now, yep. That is the main reason that we started to look at crypto and Web3 very early on, because we were very early to recognize the importance and the impact that blockchain technology can have on trade and how it can unlock the potential of trade and take it to the next level. We have 23,000 companies minus 500 Web3, and all of those, or a lot of those, are looking at blockchain technology implementation in their business. And we are playing a role in facilitating and encouraging that adoption. So our journey with Web3 dates back to 2016. We were one of the first to start looking at technology, like I mentioned. We joined the UAE Blockchain Council, where we hosted some of the pilot projects of blockchain. And from that, we started seeing interest in companies who wanted to set up. And at that time, regulation did not exist. So we created a framework around licensing crypto trading on the basis that crypto was classified as a commodity and not a currency. And we issued licenses for companies to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, or crypto commodities rather. And from that time on, we had the first mover advantage and received a lot of interest. And we saw that there's a need to actually set up a dedicated ecosystem for those businesses. And in May 2021, we launched the DMCC Crypto Center, which at that time, we only had 20 companies operating. And today, we're home to more than 550 native Web3 companies, and that actually makes us the largest concentration of Web3 companies in the region. Now, what does it mean to be a member of the Crypto Center? Now, the basis of this offer is what every company needs as a basic, which is an office space or a desk space with a registration license and a visa. But that's something that anyone can offer, really, right? So the real value is in the community. And like I mentioned, crypto companies want to be connected to other potential clients. And we have more than 3,000 energy companies and more than 2,000 precious metals and stones companies, and a lot more than that in agri and other places. And we play a role, like I mentioned, in making connections between those two worlds. But aside from that, we offer ongoing mentorship and support to our companies, and there's ongoing incubation, and there are ongoing also acceleration programs that we run. That's in addition to the general meetups and networking that we provide. And very important thing to highlight is we have a dedicated crypto team that sits at the Crypto Center, accessible at reasonable hours. And the only job of this team is to support the growth of our members who are part of our community. These are just some photos of our regular meetup that we host at our headquarters at the Crypto Center at Almas Tower. And we do these at least once a quarter. These are some photos from our acceleration program that we hosted, and you can see the faces of the happy winners of the big cash prizes. And of course, none of the value that I talked about and services that we deliver would have been possible without ecosystem partnerships. And this is basically the model that we follow for all the solutions that we provide. We're proud to have Bybit as our listing partner, and DWF Labs and GAF Capital as our funding partner. We also work with TDFi and Brink for our acceleration and incubation, and we also have our technology partners, of course. And none of this would be possible without the support of governments and regulators. We also pay strong emphasis on services that help complete the ecosystem and provide the services that members need to also get by their day-to-day operations, like compliance, recruitment, and security. So this is just an overview, if you don't know, of the type of businesses that you can set up in Dubai and in DMCC in particular. So there are license activities or business activities that don't require a regulator's license. So a DMCC license is sufficient. And that is things like the metaverse service providers, blockchain as a service, is also mining or trading crypto or virtual assets. But there are also, of course, license activities by VARA, such as broker-dealer, exchange, custodian, investment management, and advisory services, and also token issuance. This is just an overview of our Web3 ecosystem. As you can see, we have companies from all the different subsectors of the crypto world. And like I mentioned before, we play an active role in making sure that those companies connect and interact and collaborate with each other and with a wider community of 23,000 businesses from different sectors. So in summary, I would say, if you'd like to join us, and if you're thinking about where do you want to be as a crypto business, just choose a community where you call it home, or where you can find your peers to connect and be with. Thank you very much. That's it from me.